Hey YouTube, welcome back. I'm Ross and you're watching Sky Management. On today's episode, we're going to be installing a dog run. This is a zipline style dog run. The great thing about these is that they are portable, so if you go camping a lot like we do, then you can take it down and take it with you. So stick with us and I'll show you how to put it up. I purchased this kit on Amazon and I will include a link down below in the video description. Included in this package is all the hardware that you will need to install it. There is a Bungee dog leash. I got the 100-foot of cable. The cable comes with the turnbuckle or cable tensioner pre-attached at one end, and the other end is just loose like this. So you measure out how far you need, and then it came with 2 cable clamps to set the designated length of your cable, a piece of chain link to hook the cables to this piece, which we'll talk about in a second, the pulley part. There are 2 permanent anchors that you can use, and then there is one loop piece of wire. This can go like around a tree, and then you use the piece of chain link to hold it together. So there's 2 different ways to attach it. I'll be doing one with this way and one with the cable loop so that you can see how they both work. For my personal home, I did purchase a larger eye bolt that I'm going to use because that's going to be my permanent anchor. So it's a larger one than one of these. These are probably okay, but the dog that we have is a Bernedoodle and it's going to get quite large, so I wanted something pretty solid. All in all, it looks like pretty good quality, so let's go put it up. If you're going to go with the permanent anchors, to set your anchor, you'll need to pre-drill a hole for it. You're going to want to keep the cable about 6 feet off the ground all the way across so that your bungee leash has enough room for the dogs to run around. I'm going to pre-drill it out, so be sure you get the right size drill bit for whatever anchor you're going to use. Put mine right about here. Then I'll screw in the anchor. If you're using the eye bolts, a helpful tip on that is to use a screwdriver, and you can stick your screwdriver through the eye on the bolt and spin it that way. My permanent anchor side is going to be where I'm putting my cable tensioner. When you're setting this up, you want to have the tensioner extended out as far as it'll go so that once you get it up there, you can have your maximum range to tighten down the cable on the inside. So spin the hook and the loop around to where all of the thread is out of the middle area, so it's as long as possible. Like so. I'm going to hook it on there, and I'm going to run it out to the post where I'm going to put the other end. It's a little bit windy out here, so I hope you can hear me. I'm going to put up the cable style now. This can go around a tree, or in my case, I'm going to use this post. So I'm going to take the wire around the post like that, and then I'm going to use the chain, piece of chain. It's kind of like a carabiner except it screws closed. Then I'm going to put it on there, and that's where I'm going to attach my cable to, but I need to get a bite in my cable first. So you pull your cable up, figure out how long it needs to be. You're going to put as much tension on it as you can just by hand holding it there. And then you use your cable clamps that came with your kit. We're going to put 2 of them on there, about 6 inches apart or so. To do that, it takes a 10mm socket, at least for this size of cable clamp. It's a 10mm socket wrench. So I've got one of those here. I'll put them on there and I'll show you what it looks like. Before you start adding your cable clamps to make your bend in the wire to make your bite on the one end, be sure to put the pulley on, because once you put the clamps on, you won't be able to get the pulley on there anymore. So you want to put the pulley on first, and then slide your clamps over the end of this, and work them back to however long you need your cable to be. once you have your cable clamps secured and in place, and you've locked your chain link right there, it makes this really easy to take apart. You can just loosen the turnbuckle on the other end and pull the loop off of here and take it with you when you travel to your campsite. Once you have it up in your location, if it's a permanent location, you may want to cut the rest of this wire off. I had a little bit of extra, so I tied it up back there in case I decided I wanted to move this to someplace where I needed more cable later. So now we've got it secured on this end. We just got to go back and tighten that cable tensioner, and it should be about done. To tighten one of these cable tensioners, you just twist the middle part, and you want to hold both ends still. So like one end is going to be held still by the eye hook back here. If you hold that other end still and then twist the middle, it'll tighten both ends toward the middle. So it's going to be tightening them both at the same time. All right, come on, let's go. I think she likes it.